Hello, friends. This is Yonks and Mrs. Yonks, and this is now our second conversation on RETCLub, Real Estate Token Investment Clubs Network. So we're really looking to create a network effect in investment clubs. And let me actually bring up the agenda over here real quick. Okay, and we do all of our building in public. So this is actually our notion here on live stream. One of the things, and if you could do this here, Mrs. Yonks, for me to add a next item or next action on our agenda. So right now we just put a new Restream account in place under AFM DAO, Affiliate Marketing DAO, to support the Triple Win Foundation ecosystem, and the live stream is not currently going in our Discord channel. That's something that we need to get configured. So if you could add that, that would be awesome. So let's see here. This is Notion, and we are talking about real estate token investment clubs. So we've got a lot of agenda planned. So one of the things that wanted to talk about a little bit, and this is more related to REtoken, the real estate DAO specifically. This is some of the housekeeping here. So one of the proposals that I would like to put forward here, December is always a great time of year to reflect and do some housekeeping in anticipation of the upcoming year. So since we launched REtoken, the real estate DAO, back in July, August, September of 2021, and I'm actually going to bring open real quick. Oh, are we actually live streaming here? Unable to live stream to the custom service. Let's actually confirm if we are or not before I go any further, because we might need to.
I just saw it pop up on YouTube that we're live, so it's definitely going there.
Okay, cool. Well, that's the only one that I'm mostly concerned about is YouTube anyway. So anyway, where was I at, Tyler?
You were talking about the agenda and we need to fix.
Oh yeah. The hello or goodbye season 0, hello season 1 of REtoken. So this is vote.ret.team, and let me actually, I'm gonna throw this on the YouTube link here real quick. Let me do that in, I think I might have to be on the REtoken DAO, because since we don't have the, what's it called, the streaming service going. Hopefully I'm logged in there. And we are live here. So let's see. One of the, oh, I'm seeing this start QA or poll. That's kind of cool. So here is our DAO governance page on snapshot.org. Snapshot.org is a platform. Let me actually just go there real quick in another tab. I was going to snapshot.org, and was one of the last ones that I was at. And let me make this bigger so that you can all see it. This monitor that I'm using is very, very large. So snapshot.org, you can see here there's some very large DAOs that use this: Uniswap, Stargate. Some of these I haven't heard of. So REtoken DAO. So this is us. 65 members have joined REtoken, the real estate DAO. And what I was wanting to show here, this is our Genesis proposal. I'm just scrolling down to the very, very bottom very quickly here real quick. So our Genesis proposal, and this is one that we did on September 6th, 2021, a little over a year ago. So this is season 0. We've been operating in season 0 for quite a while. And one of the things that we put forward, season 0, season 1, initial DEX offering. So this is one of the things that's changed substantially. We agreed via REtoken improvement proposal number 5 to do a crowdfunding via security token offering. But right now, That's one of the things that we would absolutely agree. We're hoping to do that in October of 2022, and needless to say, it didn't make sense to do that. So one of the things to kind of just go along with some of the DAO best practices, if you will, is to do a much shorter season time frame. So I feel really good about everything that we did. We have learned so much in the last year and a half since we launched REtoken the Real Estate DAO, but now is a good time to go to season 1. So I'm actually going to propose that we sunset season 0 here and move to season 1, which will be, and I think for quarter 1, so 2023 quarter 1. And in this proposal, I'm actually going to frame it that we'll propose doing season 1, quarter 1, season 2, quarter 2, et cetera, et cetera. So we'll do season 1, 2, 3, 4 next year, and unless we agree to do something else. But that's what I'm going to put forward in this proposal, going back over here to our agenda in Notion. So did you want to chime in on any of that real quick here, Tyler?
I think the shorter seasons make sense, and I know a challenge that we'd run into before was people were wondering what all we've been building for all this. So it looks like we're building a whole bunch of things at the same time, but I think this is all stuff that we've just been building and organizing, and now it's all ready at the same time.
Yeah, I would agree, and that's one of the things that we'll talk a little bit more as far as that. So anyway, do we need to add anything more as far as this item here? And this is, again, not necessarily specifically related to RETCLub, the Real Estate Token Investment Clubs Network, but it's just some good housekeeping. And that's one of the things that we'll talk more about coming up.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, so RETCLub, we build a network effect for real estate investing. And this is another proposal that wanting to create, and I'm going to kick off some workflow within Notion, not right now during this working group. We've got a lot of agenda, but behind the scenes. And I showed you our very first Genesis proposal. So one of the things that we really leaned into during our light paper writing, and that was about a year ago, was the We Biddle Ethereum culture. And I'm not going to go into detail as far as that culture, but so one of the things that I wanted to talk about here is a network effect. Creating economic incentives drives the net creation of network effects. And I really believe that all the magic happens when a network effect is created. There's so many examples of network effects, and technology has substantially amplified the time frame that it normally creates to create a network effect. And that's one of the things that using composable blockchain technology for doing what we're doing in the space here will make that substantially easier. And one of the things as far that I didn't talk about there was the economic incentives. So what does this mean? So we biddle a 2-tier affiliate program recurring annually based upon a club network membership fee. So this is one of the things that I think a lot of people are used to. Trade associations have had annual membership fees for a substantial amount of time. And the economic incentive that we're talking about, and let me actually bring open, because Tyler and I were having a little bit of conversation before we kick this off, but this is something that I just updated here earlier today to let's call this tokenomics for the more Web3 crypto speaking people. But basically what this is doing is allocating the $97 a year club network membership fee. So REtoken, the real estate DAO, will be the network facilitator for RETCLUB. And we'll talk about a little bit more about the $ RETCLUB coming up here. But this is just a visual breakdown of how that $97 will flow. So we've got a little bit this TX OPEX here. We're wanting to create a user journey for a new club member where we're expecting them to pay via a credit card. So that's one of the things we're hoping to deliver that administration for less than $5. And then on the annual recurring component going forward, we're really hoping to move that to be natively on the blockchain through our composable NFT membership via Unlock Protocol. And we'll go into that later here. But do you want to talk any more about this diagram here, Tyler? And let me actually show real quick where it's at in our Notion page. So let me make this full screen. So I've been showing our agenda on Notion. So this is actually over here, 3Win DAO project page. So this is the one that's relevant to our conversation tonight, Real Estate Token Investment Clubs Network. So let me make this full screen. And this is in the FAQs section here. How is the annual membership fee allocated? So this is where I input this. So anyway, I've been rambling. What would you like to say on this, Tyler?
Pretty excited to identify which club members in different clubs are also interested in working on some of these different projects. I think the leadership it'll be great to see if we've got people from different parts of the country or different clubs making new friends, making new connections, and forming new teams to support some of these other projects. I'm pretty excited. The first person who quits a full-time job to work on this thing full-time. We're at a real estate networking event the other night, and that was something one of the presenters had said was, I finally took the leap and was working on this project working on her project full-time. So I think that'll be interesting to see out of all these clubs who surfaces and who's the first person to really dive out of corporate into this thing.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that we will absolutely be incorporating into this new real estate strategy that we're going to be talking an immense about. I mean, we're going to go a little bit crazy talking about this because we're going to be talking really about two moonshot concepts. And that's probably a good segue. I'm going to take down the network membership fee breakdown here and go back to our agenda. So let's see, we build a network effect. That's what we've been talking about. And I'm actually going to keep on the agenda here. I'll come back to that momentarily. So we are, this conversation is primarily tonight about RETCLUB. RETCLUB is going to be a component within the Triple Win Foundation ecosystem of I100 Club, which is a network of Web3 club networks. That's a little redundant there, but let's see, a network of Web3 clubs. No, I don't know. I think it's supposed to be a network of Web3 club networks. So RETCLUB is going to be a club network. Let me actually expand this here real quick. So I100 is a Web3 community network framework allowing people, creators, leaders, DAOists, etc., to launch their own network ideas to leverage this 3Win DAO ecosystem. So what is I100? I100 is simply a truncation of invest $100. And the thing that's magical about the $100 price point, at least here in the US today in 2022, we really believe that $100 is an amount that most people can part with on a monthly basis without having to ask for permission from their partner or significant other. Would you agree with that, Tyler?
Yeah.
And it's funny when I mention that to a lot of people, they pretty candidly agree. So one of the things that we're wanting to do here, this is a work group. We love getting things done on our live stream and working groups. So I-100 is, we're wanting this to be strictly a governance token, like one token, one vote. And I don't think that Coinvice has the capability of doing what is like a soulbound token. And that's something that if that capability, we're able to mint some of those at some point in time later, we may do. But let's actually go and do this minting of these I-100 tokens. And the reason for this is that we're wanting to create some type of mechanism that allows the entire I-100 ecosystem to have some type of governance. Because like onboarding a new, and let me actually, before we do this, I think I was supposed to talk, well, no, actually, I'm wanting to do that right now. I've been talking about that. Let me actually go in a new window here real quick, and I'm gonna make sure I'm signed into MetaMask. I am on Polygon, great. So let me go to coinvice.co. And we're going to go through this pretty quickly. This is something, coinvice.co is a platform that we have used for minting other social tokens. And let me go through this process. Did a video on this on the DAO Hack YouTube channel over a year ago. And anyway, the reason that we love Coinvice is that there's literally no cost to mint a social token on I-100. So one of the things that will happen, and we'll talk about this, is that we will, during our launch, right now we are in pre-launch of RETCLUB. During the launch, and this is something that will create a constitution for I-100, but we'll put that on the roadmap for one of the agenda items for International DAO Day on 2/22/23. So very, very excited about that. So do you want to talk about that, Mrs. Yonks, while I create this token here?
Yeah, so we had a really great event in February where we had keynote speakers. Dr. Millie Perry is an international blockchain consultant for the EU, and Sandy Carter is a senior VP of Unstoppable Domains. We had great speakers all day long. We had a legal panel. We minted tokens. We just had a great event, top to bottom. So we decided that 2/22/22 needed an encore. So we're going to do 2/22/23 as Token Summit 2. And the original thought on this was to do it tri-annually, and we decided that was a little bit too much for everything else that we had going on in the community. So we decided to make it annual for now. So we just started working on that. One of the benefits of club membership is anybody who has joined an investment club prior to probably 2/19 or 2/20. I'm going to need a couple days to process tickets, but anybody who joins between now and then, one of the benefits that they'll be getting for free is an invitation to attend their next token summit, which will probably be $97 to $297 for free. We're just going to throw that in there. We are already brainstorming about great speakers, panels. We learned so much about the last time, and pretty excited to think through how much the industry's changed, how much people are excited and scared, and what new projects are kind of coming out of the ecosystem. It's been pretty shocking how many people are still building. So we call this kind of dark time in crypto, the crypto winter, assets are crashing and just different things. But out of that, new projects are coming out. And I think people are realizing for the first time, you have to have a project that has something real behind it, real people, real ideas, real utility, maybe even real assets. And I think the timing is potentially really good for the real estate investment clubs when people are looking at FTX saying, what on earth happened with this organization? How did this guy mint tokens, book them on his own balance sheet, take a real money loan against them, collapse the whole thing? How could that have happened? who was minding the bus? I mean, this kind of thing. So we're excited about what people are interested in. We think we're on the right time for this. And so if anybody who is listening right now has ideas, or if you think that we should interview you, reach out to us. We're going to have a formal speaker application. We're going to be issuing invitations and kind of get that going. We just decided to relaunch this thing here the other night. So kind of full go mode for the next token summit.
So it looks like, getting back to the token minting here, doing 10 billion, and the goal is to create real estate ownership for everyone. And this is even bigger than that, because this is the opportunity for everyone to pretty much launch their own club within the framework that we're building out within this ecosystem. So the goal is to take composable technology, really do best practices with what we're creating here. And we'll be talking a lot more about that. So I'm going to actually just mint this into my own wallet right now. We'll create a Gnosis safe here later. We absolutely love Gnosis safe. And that's one of the things that we need to add to our next actions here, Tyler, for REtoken, is that we have some safe to claim. We have a safe on Ethereum and a safe on Polygon. And that's one of the things that we can incorporate, is updating the Gnosis safe signers in our proposal for goodbye season 0, hello season 1 for REtoken. So anyway, getting back to this, minting a social token for DAO governance for the I-100. And what did I call this over here? A network of Web3 club networks. Oh, it looks like I got to go back to this little thing here. Okay. For I-100 club, I-100.eth. So I had it only allows in the symbol is characters. It didn't look like it allowed, only uppercase alphabets are allowed. So, and that's something that Coinvice has changed, and I'm not exactly sure what the reason for that is. It doesn't really matter. So we've got, these are the fields that are required here, the name. That all looks good. Got anything to add? Is this looking good to you too, Tyler?
Yeah, I think it's fine. I don't normally mint these, so I mean that looks good to me. It's pretty crazy to think about one token for every person on Earth and a bunch of people that haven't been born yet. So there's that. Pretty big vision.
Hourglass is taking a while here on Coinbase. I don't know if it's waiting on me to sign something here. No, it doesn't look like it.
So while you're doing that, one of the reasons why we start all of our projects with legal entities and we issue tokens is because it just makes it easier to acknowledge people's work and contributions early on and as we go. That way there's no misunderstanding, there's no confusion. We've been part of projects where people were just sort of loose handing it. And then all of a sudden the people that were the most active at the time of the token drop end up with really skewed amounts of tokens. Sometimes they really deserve it, sometimes they really don't. This we think is a lot more clear of, as you earn it along the way, we earn at the same rate everybody else earns. We're not doing a big owner's allocation to us. We've also been part of projects where the founders get huge extra allocations of tokens and really kind of skew things moving forward. So we don't believe in that as a DAO philosophy. So we don't do that. But yeah, we are coming in at the same price and on the same terms as everybody else. Everything that we're asking people to pay, we're also paying. Everything we reward, we're doing the same thing. So we just want people to know that's how this whole thing's getting set up.
And I'm going to put these details over here because this is something that I don't want to continue to spend. Name. Symbol. Club. Because I'm going to move on here and do this later. Description. So we've got a lot of agenda to cover here. So I'm going to actually close this window. Plus I got a little error there. So I'll troubleshoot that offline. So mint 10 billion, let me close this. All right, so let's talk about the founding I-100 Club networks. And so we're obviously been, this video is on specifically RETCLUB, Real Estate Token Investment Clubs Network by REtoken, the real estate DAO. So we are also wanting to utilize this investment club framework that we're building out here for a component of For Christ DAO, which is an opportunity for us to invest in Christ-centered opportunities. And just wanted to highlight a spiritual goal for our family for 2023. We will be intentional about being Christ-centered within our business activities. And this is one of the verses that I love. As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord.
Can you fix the spelling? Hey babe, can you fix the spelling on intentional? You missed an N in there.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Intentional.
Yes, we want to be intentional about being good spellers. The For Christ DAO thing is really interesting. One of the things that we realized was there's a pretty well-known financial program that's in a lot of churches and in a lot of communities and high schools and whatever. And they always teach people how to get out of debt, but once you're out of debt, or if you're just beginning on your investment journey, they don't really give you any tools to do that. So that's one of the things that we're trying to bridge that gap for people, is saying, hey, if you want to invest with common values, this is a great way to do it.
Yes, and to keep on going here, a gig, a Web3 community for gig workers, and this is something I'm very optimistic about, is the play to earn gaming community. So be talking more about that potentially throughout the 3-Win DAO, Triple Win Foundation ecosystem. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to go do this in a different browser window, but this is another action that was wanting to take here. Oh, I need to pull this out real quick down to here. There we go. So let me, there we go. So mint 10 billion RETCLUB tokens on Coinvice. I'm actually going to do that in a different profile. Maybe we'll have better success on this one in our, so let's see, retcoinvice.co. And I think I'm going to have to log in. So this is one of the best practices that we do is we use LastPass, the LastPass manager. And let's see, this is MetaMask. So Tyler was actually helping her parents get set up on that to have a better security posture. So if you've got any questions about that, reach out to us on our DMs are open at Yonks or at Mrs. Yonks on social. We love helping people follow some best practices. And that's one of the things that we will constantly be talking about, because the best practices can and should always be evolving, especially surrounding fast-moving technology. Okay, so speaking of best practices, still feel that MetaMask is the most compatible hot wallet to use. It may not be the most user-friendly, but it is definitely the most compatible. So anyway, let me make this a little bit bigger here for everybody on the live stream. So this is actually the REtoken, and let me go to that tab real quick because this is the Coinvice REtoken DAO. This is where we minted REtoken, the real estate DAO social tokens. And I'm going to do RETCLUB. RETCLUB is, we're wanting to position that as a function that REtoken, the real estate DAO, provides. So, and here's the link. Let me throw that in the YouTube real quick. Link to Coinvice. Link to Coinvice.co profile page. All right. So let's do a create token. And this is RETCLUB, Real Estate Token Club Networks by REtoken DAO. I don't know how long the description is, and that's maybe one of the things that was causing some problems, but we will see here. Let's see, let's do retclub.xyz. retclub.eth. Okay, RETCLUB, supply, 10 billion again on this. Description. Did I have a good description somewhere, Tyler? Let me see what I got over here.
Which one?
RETCLUB.
Probably. I'm not sure where it is at this moment. We'll come back to that.
Well, I need it here so I can get this done. Let's see. RETCLUB. Real estate. That seems for. We are a Web3 investment clubs network for real estate. There, that's pretty simple, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's fine.
Awesome. Okay, so RETCLUB, Real Estate Token Club Networks by REtoken DAO, retclub.xyz, retclub.eth, create. And I'm going to come back to this here momentarily because this was actually a slight brand pivot from our first pre-launch conversations, which was, I believe, back on November the 5th. And here's the TX record. So let me throw that in Notion. Create bookmark. Token created successfully. See, this is what we did not see on our previous one. So yay to us. So this was actually the one that was more important anyway, because this is a video all about RETCLUB pre-launch conversations. So exciting, exciting. We love doing things. We build in public, love doing stuff on our live stream. So now, how are we going to use this token? That's going to be a network-wide, because the goal is to have, what do you call it? Multiple real estate token investment club networks. So this is kind of like the network-wide one where, am I doing a good job explaining that, Tyler?
I think so, but I already know what it is, so I don't. I think you are.
Okay, well, actually, I think I've got a page on Notion over here that, so let's see, under pre-launch plan, operations strategy. So RETCLUB governance. So here we go. This is what I was wanting right here. Let me actually put this in a, I'll put a link in there to the smart contract. So I believe that these got minted directly into the MetaMask hot wallet for here. And here's the contract address. Let me open that in a new tab. Let me, Polygon scan. So Polygon Scan is the website that you can do a blockchain explorer. So this was the smart contract address that just showed up over here that I grabbed, right, and you can see it on the screen. And I put that over here. So this is our network-wide club token tracker. So we can click on this. And you can see here 10 billion tokens, which is what we created. So token, RETCLUB, real estate token club networks by REtoken. So it looks like we was a little bit longer than it displays, but it still was in the smart contract. So one of the things that we can do, and this is a good opportunity for some tasks in DWork, is to get social profiles updated. So this is something that we can put as a task where we can go through. I think that we even have an opportunity for doing this with REtoken as well, just to increase the professional image that we're wanting to put forward here. So here is a link, and I'll actually put this in the live stream for everybody. We just minted 10 billion RETCLUB, which is a social token for DAO governance network wide. And the goal is to, again, issue one token per person. And that's one of the things that we will incorporate into the user journey. And this is one of the things that we will probably wait within the user journey until they've been an active club member for like 3 months. But anyway, that's something that we can put forward as far as from a discussion time frame. Let's see, getting back to this, we just minted 10 billion on Polygon Matic. Here's the link to the smart contract. All right. So I got the screenshot. I'm going to take a screenshot here real quick without that. Okay, keeping on the agenda. So, and I'm going to actually put this in the link here too. The link to the token in our agenda is a bookmark. So I talked a little bit about the user journey. So let me close this section down here, I-100 Club. So proposal, we build the RETCLUB user journey using REtoken. So I don't have a lot of details here. So let's actually go over to the other page in Notion, and let me minimize the token governance. So talking about the pre-launch, so looking here, so let me actually, this will be a good time to talk about the pre-launch plan. And actually, I think that we'll have this coming up here momentarily, but so the goals, because I actually updated the goals based upon some feedback from Tyler earlier. Thank you for that, Tyler. and expanded this and kind of reorganized it. So the first goal is launch research initiatives to find the best zip code to buy a home in 2023 in our initial target states. And one of the things that we're going to be doing is focusing on a strategy, Tesla House Co-op, and we're specifically looking at Columbus. We'll talk more about that here later. Agree upon initial tech stack. I'm going to put this on the shelf. We'll come back to this later. So right now, we're talking about user journeys. I'm going to just skip this right here and come to the user journeys because that's where our agenda brought us. So first of all is the club president. We're really wanting to create, because we're talking about a minimum viable club for RETCLUB. As somebody that raises their hand and says, hey, look at me, I see the value proposition of what you're doing here. I want to be positioned as a Web3 real estate and digital assets coach. That's one of the personal branding strategies. Just kind of marinate that on that a little bit. We're going to do some breakout content, myself and Tyler, talking about that. As far as our personal branding strategy is that we, Yonks, Mrs. Yonks, Yonks team are real estate and digital asset coaches and consultants specializing in Web3 and DAOs. So anyway, going back here, club president, somebody raises their hand and says, hey, and this is something that we're going to plan on putting on our retclub.xyz homepage, is saying, hey, join the wait list, or hey, I want to be a club member. So both of these there will have that. And I don't have any expanded details on these. That's why these arrows are gray right now. One of the things that we're wanting to utilize is that there's some markup code, and we're also wanting to, planning on using the Mermaid markup code to reflect these user journeys. But the club president, and one of the things that we spoke about here, we're going to create a early or a pre-launch special offer for the club presidents where they're not going to have to pay any additional aspects to be a club president. One of our expectations is that we're going to create a lot more content and increase the value for the club presidents, because there's going to be more effort for within the organization to support launching a new club. I'm not going to go into details on that, just appreciate. And do you want to talk anything about that, Tyler, as far as the additional efforts from an administration standpoint?
No, the only thing is, I think we have a few different models for this that could work. I was actually active in Toastmasters on and off for like 20 years, and they have a really great structure where there's a Toastmasters International that provides support and infrastructure and resources to local clubs, but the local clubs run themselves in a lot of significant ways. So they're all the same, but they all have different flavors. So it's, I don't know if that's not necessarily the model that we're going to use for the investment clubs, but I think there are some good models out there that we can follow to have some home office support and some standardization, but a lot of opportunity for local leaders to build up the club the way that they want to and give it some personality.
Yeah, and the biggest thing that I believe that we're providing from an infrastructure standpoint is just bringing all of this technology together. And we'll go back to that here, because that's, I'm hiding this arrow because like you'll have more appreciation. And that's one of the reasons that we're putting a little bit longer on this pre-launch window. But anyway, the user journeys, and one of the reasons that love using that, I think that that's largely regarded as a best practice. This is something that we're building a best practices culture here at REtoken, the real estate DAO, 3-Win DAO, Triple Win Foundation. And with everything that we're very intentional about looking at best practices, exploring best practices, implementing best practices, and refining that based upon what we learn. Anyway, so the fifth goal, and let me make sure that the 5 is all that we've got here, is to create templates for club founding and organizational documents. So based upon the research that I've done thus far, and Actually, I'm going to scroll down here real quick and talk about this, because since we're talking about the club founding organizational documents, it's worth talking about the best legal structure for real estate, for a real estate investment club. Now, this is one of the things that we are going to be talking more about. I'm actually wanting to do a breakout dedicated video on this topic myself, and that's something, Tyler, that I think that we should do to really talk about. But based upon the research that we've done, the best vehicle for this is an unincorporated nonprofit association. And there was a fabulous, and I'm actually going to break out the reference section here. Here's some details on the Unincorporated Nonprofit Association Act. Tyler and I have some experience with this as serial entrepreneurs, utilizing some of their uniform laws that they've put forward. One of which that we have experience with is the Series LLC and the Limited Cooperative Association. We are actually have formed Tesla House Co-op in North Glen, our proof of concept limited equity cooperative model as a limited cooperative association in Colorado. But anyway, the got a lot of reference here. Not going to go into details on this. You can pick this up off of the agenda for this. And like I said, planning on creating a breakout video talking about and going into more detail on this. But the big takeaway, and this is something that I found here in Ohio, and this is something that's important here, and I'm pretty sure that there's some consistent language in other states as far as this, but this is one that I found while doing some research for Ohio, because I am going to be leading up as president of the RETCLUB in Ohio. So liability of managers and members. The members, the managers, and the officers of an unincorporated nonprofit association shall not be personally liable for any obligation of the association. So the other thing too, as far as starting a nonprofit organization, so here was the thing that I was talking about, and I'm going to just read through this here real quick since it's worthwhile. Ohio law recognizes unincorporated associations. Unincorporated associations still require organizational documents known as constitutions in order for the organization to be created. Additionally, such an organization usually has bylaws which may set forth matters such as rules and regulations for the organization's operation, the method of adopting or amending the Constitution and bylaws, the method of electing officers, the powers and duties of the officers and trustees, the rights of members. So this is things that we're going to want to incorporate into the templates. So one of the things that I would really like to see for our Genesis proposal for RETCLUB is to provide a template for a constitution and a template for the bylaws. So do you have anything that you want to add to this before we go on to the next topic, Tyler?
No, I think it's good. One of the things that has been, is Magoo making a cameo? This is our little 18-month-old Brooke who loves to help us live stream and recently discovered the magic that is Chick-fil-A shakes and got herself a little sugar high this afternoon. I tried to give her one little sip and then she grabbed the cup and decided it was her shake now. So that was Mother of the Year moment right there. I think the unincorporated nonprofit thing is really interesting because we have formed a lot of entities over the years, and having the ability to be unincorporated but still function in a way that allows us to get some liability protection, function in some of these different ways will be great. Anything that requires the formation, like paying taxes and documenting contributions and everything that for transparency, we're planning on doing all that, but this just saves a lot of paperwork and time and money and other things. So pretty excited about that. I don't know if this is actually going to be available in every state. It's available in Colorado. I think it's in Ohio and Tennessee, which were two of our early clubs planned. So as we're kind of going from state to state, we need to check every single state law and see which states offer this as a structure.
Yeah, and that's one of the things too that I expect that we can get some support from, as far as when we get a little bit further along and have a lot of this already drafted. Our experience, at least Tyler and myself, is that the more homework that we can do and the more prepared that we are, that it should dramatically reduce any potential bill from attorneys. Most attorneys bill anywhere from $250 to $1,500 an hour for their consultation and stuff. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and move on from this topic. And yes, Tennessee does support. I didn't get any of the supporting details in there. But anyway, going back over here. So let me make this bigger on the screen. Got a lot of stuff going on here between the big monitor that I'm using right now. So the user journey. So on this, the thought is that really want to create a user journey where we reward people with REtoken as they're completing various steps. So one of the ways that we like to position REtoken, the social token that we created for REtoken, the real estate DAO, is a proof of contribution model. So we'll talk more about that as we're going through. Don't really have any more additional details on that, but one of the things that wanted to discuss is staying in pre-launch. Right now, we're in pre-launch until International DAO Day on 2/22/23. I really like that idea. I think that it will give us more time to put a lot of this technology that we're putting into play out there. How do you want to chime in on that, Tyler?
Well, we were talking about International DAO Day on while you were minting the tokens. So went through, we're going to be doing Token Summit. I need to get the website updated. So at Token Summit 2022 on it. So we need to revamp the website, take a speaker application. And like I said, if anybody has ideas for speakers, taking applications, we are also going to be doing some invitations. So if you have people that you'd like to recommend, we are happy to look at that. But yeah, we're just revamping the website, and then we are going to be launching that as a virtual event with a user benefit. As if you're an active club member between now and probably 2 to 3 days before the summit starts, we'll give you a free ticket included. And that's going to be one of many benefits that we toss in through the years. So when we talk, a lot of people are wondering why we're charging money to join the network. Part of it is because there's some backend infrastructure and overhead that has to get taken care of. Part of it is we are building a community, and that community is creating this network effect, and we want to invite our members to participate in certain things and certain extras like Token Summit and some other goodies kind of to be announced later on. So we're just waiting for the full rollout on that. But yeah, stay tuned for that. If any of you are particularly interested in working on Token Summit, reach out to me. DMs are open. Would love to connect and talk about what you want to be part of on that.
Yeah, and on this, I was more looking for just specifically staying in pre-launch mode and really utilizing International DAO Day. I'm talking pre-launch for RETCLUB, and then using DAO Day to really officially launch. So just from a time frame standpoint now is.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, well, let me go back over to the other page here real quick and see if there was anything else that wanted to review on this. And this is actually something that I updated quite a bit. So I'm actually just going to go through the rest of the pre-launch plan right now. So we already spoke about goals earlier on the live stream. So let me collapse this and move on to events. So working groups, webinars, conferences, etc. So this is something that right now we're obviously on a live stream. Let me actually turn my video back on. I noticed that I turned it off here. So right now we're on our working group live stream, which is this other one here. One of the things that we're very excited about is we have planned our very first hybrid event in Cleveland for December the 14th and December the 15th. And this is in conjunction with another crypto blockchain on December 15th, going to be celebrating with the Cleveland DAO, their 1-year anniversary there. So very excited about those. This is something that we have talked a lot about in 2022 as far as this hybrid event strategy. And this will really be the rubber meets the road as far as a foray. And we're really wanting to, we're planning to do a lot of efforts between now and then, as far as from a marketing effort to really be able to, we've got the capacity in the libraries that we reserve the rooms for of up to 80 people. So very excited about that. And then we're also planning on building a Tesla House co-op webinar marketing strategy. And haven't talked that much about Tesla House co-op on here, but we're really positioning Tesla House co-op as a haven for gig workers, traveling nurses, and baby boomers. And one of the things that Tyler and I agreed with the time between now and December the 14th, with that quickly approaching, we're going to put the Tesla House co-op webinar for developing that on the shelf until later this month. Do you want to talk about, let me actually bring open the page. So we created an Eventbrite page, and this is one of the things right now, this is actually open. We're wanting to, for registration, we're wanting to improve the workflow, but buy, monetize, tokenize. And this is one of the things that we are actually going to be creating as a tokenized project within REtoken, the real estate DAO. And we'll be talking more about that. I don't know if I want to go into the details on that here tonight, but thank you, Tyler, for the efforts that you did to get the collection online in Eventbrite.
Yeah, super excited about that. One of the other things that we are going to be doing is we just bought a Black Friday, Cyber Monday sale on an affiliate marketing plugin. So this event's going to be free. That it doesn't it matters a little bit less, but moving forward, when people are building their clubs out, especially if they decide to do digital marketing or they set up a QR code at a networking event or whatever, we want to be able to track who's doing what, so that we don't make any mistakes paying people for affiliates. And we want to also make sure that if there are any questions about who brought somebody in, that we have some kind of a clean record on that. So we are going to be, we're building out a website right now where it's going to have that tracking plugin in it, and we'll be ready to start taking those soon.
Yeah, and since you were talking a little bit about the tools there, let's actually go to our tools page under here. And this is something that what we're talking about there is looking at using WC Affiliate. And let me actually just open this page here. This is something that we found. It was one of the, we'd previously been looking at using ClickFunnels for doing the affiliate program. And is my audio working? Yeah, it looks okay. I'm seeing it. So this is the affiliate program that we ordered, and that's one of the things that we're going to be deploying through affiliate marketing DAO here for our triple win DAO ecosystem that we're building out here. So anyway, going back to buy, monetize, tokenize, this is really the real estate strategy that we will be utilizing to, we believe, substantially improve the value of single family residences, as well as create great opportunities for investors, and using some tokenomics really bring forward new technology to support the limited equity cooperative. So we'll be talking more about that, this buy, monetize, tokenize in 2022 and 2023. It will be one of the main things that we'll be talking about in 2023 through this hybrid event strategy that we're building out. So looking here on that, so this is another thing, we were talking about moonshot concepts. So and talked about this on our previous webinar. Not going to talk any more about that, but talked about Tesla's co-op and marketing strategy. So I put quite a bit of details into this area since our previous working group. And this is one of the things that I wanted to briefly touch upon. And you can see this a little bit up here as far as the event. The previous working group that we had was actually titled REI Network. For those that may or may not know, REI is traditionally known within the real estate industry as the abbreviation for real estate investing. And this is one of the things that wanted to take from a branding standpoint and lean more heavily into the brand that we're creating around RET. The token aspect of what we're doing is foundational. That's one of the things we just minted a new social token for the foundation that we're building here for RETCLUB, for the network effect that we're going to be creating, 10 billion social tokens. So I just wanted to highlight that a little bit. And that's one of the things that spoke a little bit about, did this little call out here, decided to use RETCLUB instead of REIClub's network. And we've been going through and I didn't get some of this stuff updated here. So we talked a little bit about hybrid events, and this is a resource section that adding some details. And this is very much going to be an exploration, experimental, and ongoing work in progress as far as how that we're really creating this network effect for RETCLUB. Because as we said earlier, we really believe the magic happens when network effects are created. So we talked a little bit about the survey. We actually had this as one of our first goals, because Tyler and I, we have no personal experience as a real estate investor in Columbus, but we are planning on doing our very first Tesla House co-op proof of concept in Columbus. So we're wanting to really create a survey or a quiz utilizing some technology to get that answered. And I think that we can actually incorporate that into our webinar marketing strategy for Tesla House Co-op as well. One of the things that I added here is self-directed IRAs for real estate. This is one of the things Tyler and I started plugging into the Real Estate Investor Association in Greater Cincinnati. We were actually at the holiday party just on Wednesday night for the REIA of Greater Cincinnati, and I'm personally planning on being at the one in Columbus here on Tuesday evening. And one of the things that several of the people there spoke about is how that they did deals through their self-directed IRA or their self-directed 401k. One of the things that Tyler and I have personally done is transition some of our retirement account assets from traditional stocks into crypto through a self-directed IRA framework. So we'll be having more conversations. Did you want to add anything on that item before we go to the next one on this marketing strategy here, Tyler?
Yeah, the interesting thing about the self-directed IRA is they do everything through, they do everything for you, the custodian and everything It's all instant. The only thing I don't like about it is that you can't do market or limit or stop loss or whatever. But the other than that, the experience has been pretty great. So if you're looking for some interesting ways to take advantage of this crypto winter, that's a good one.
Yeah, and what I was, I think the opportunity for this is for people like, because we're creating this RETCLUB framework where it's the $97 a year and then monthly contributions of $100 a month, the I-100, invest $100. So the thought on this is if we can provide a self-directed IRA partner that would allow our club members to invest their $100 through their self-directed IRA, that would be their monthly contribution into their self-directed IRA. So I don't know if there's potential self-directed IRA partners that would allow this investment club framework so that their monthly contributions into our investment club framework for RETCLUB could be also considered a self-directed IRA contribution. That's kind of where I was going with that.
Yeah, if we can find somebody who'll make that work, that'd be great.
And that's one of the things, I don't think that it's a priority right now. We need to get our framework built and our marketing framework built and the technology in place to facilitate onboarding club presidents and then club members. So the next thing I wanted to put on here is I already talked about buy, monetize, tokenize. That's one of the, and pivoted a little bit from a branding standpoint, looking at calling buy, monetize, tokenize a guide. And but anyway, we'll talk more about that later. So the other one is to do a book surrounding real estate investment clubs. So that's something that I think that Tyler's even started to work on. Did you want to talk about that at all, or do you want to just keep on moving here, Tyler?
Yeah, I have started to work on it. I love to write, and I think it's really interesting. Jason and I bought, and I'm using this very much in air quotes, the category leader in real estate investment clubs in a book on Amazon. I think it was like $5, and it was so terrible. It was basically somebody's printed out PowerPoint presentation, and it didn't have any references to how you actually build or participate in an investment club, and it had like 15 misspellings. So I thought that's the bar. I like to think, maybe egotistically, I'm a decent writer, but the bar is so low. I literally think anybody who's watching this podcast could write a better book than that book. This book was awful. So I'm pretty excited about giving people really solid action steps and giving us some credibility as the founders of this. I want people to really know that we know what we're doing and we are not trying to pitch some stuff. The other thing that we've noticed, if I can take a little point of privilege here, is we've gone to a lot of real estate networking events and just different things. And so many real estate clubs, even real estate investment clubs, are either educational only or they're just somebody trying to sell a seminar or whatever. And it's not a, hey, you're here, would you like to attend a meeting or would you like to write a check? And here are the properties that we're looking at, and here's how we vet them, and let's learn together. There's none of that. So as far as we know, and we're obviously putting all of them out there, we think that we're going to be one of the only investment clubs where people are actually going to be investing in real estate, and they can say, hey, I own 1% of 123 Main Street, and I own it, and there's a tenant in there, and if I want to, I can drive by and see if the lawn's being mowed. I mean, it's just a really interesting way to invest in real estate. So that's what we're doing.
And I don't know how I missed or skipped over this, but I'm glad that I'm backtracking here. Apply to Unlock Protocol Grant Program. So Unlock Protocol is a component that we're planning on doing for our member onboarding, our user journey onboarding experience, and we'll also have a NFT. From a technology standpoint, it's an NFT that represents, and it's geared, and let me actually just open their website here. We have experience using Unlock Protocol on several of our other projects, including Token Summit DAO, when we did International DAO Day on 2/22/22. And we've also used that for Token Town, the HOA Destroyer, and Blockchain Bootcamp for Real Estate. And we're planning on doing a NFT for club leaders in I-100. And we're also planning on doing the NFT for the club. Did I say club leadership or club members on that, Tyler?
I'm not sure.
So either way, we're planning on doing a NFT for, and so as you can see here, they've positioned their website with exactly what we're talking about. Unlock Protocol is a protocol for memberships as time-bound, non-fungible tokens. So we're wanting this to be an annual membership, and that's one of the things that we can absolutely do for free. And we'll probably set up like with our pre-launch where all of the pre-launch will be renewing on 2/22/23. So that's another thing, and we can take that offline. But anyway, we're huge fans of Unlock Protocol, and they actually have a grant program here. And this is one of the things that we're wanting to go through the process. So if you're interested in, like, you've got some experience with writing a grant, and I think that the grant process will be fairly straightforward. This is something that we're going to be taking offline and applying for the grant through Triple Win Foundation as I-100 Club. So we're really wanting to position I-100 as a scalable framework for other people to utilize the technology that we're building here. And Unlock Protocol is the most composable technology that we've seen with the ecosystem that is being done. So very excited about working with Unlock Protocol to further incorporate their NFT membership opportunity. So anyway, what do you want to say about this opportunity, Tyler? This is something that we've talked about in the past of doing through Triple Win Foundation. I think this is absolutely the right opportunity at the right time.
I think it's going to be really interesting. One of the things that we like about Unlock, and we actually interviewed Chris Carfy, and we've met Julian different times, the founder of Unlock, and one of the top guys, Chris, and he's been super interested in what we're doing. I think it's really exciting to think about traditional gating, not token gating, and a lot of the Web3 utility that people think that all of blockchain is just video game money and that's it. When you think about real world use cases, this doesn't necessarily have anything to do with trading crypto. It's saying, hey, you're a member or you're not, or you hold a ticket or you don't, and giving people the opportunity to say, hey, I've never really been involved in anything crypto or blockchain. I'm a little scared of it, or I don't really understand it. We say, hey, you've bought a ticket to a concert or a movie, or you've made dinner reservations, or you've subscribed to a magazine, or Netflix or whatever. You have subscribed to things. You understand how this concept works, and all of a sudden that makes it way less scary and way more. We're saying this is just the blockchain version of that. So you know how Netflix works? It works like this. You know how movie tickets works? It works like this. You've been to a business conference? It works like that. So pretty excited to see if they are interested in partnering with us to solve this real world problem.
Agree. So we'll have more updates on that. That's again something that we're going to be taking offline from an opportunity standpoint. So anyway, getting back to our agenda here, and let me see, I think we were actually going through this other page. So we talked about the book. So one of the things that would really like to do is to create a special contest for the first state. We're talking about doing 3 states in this pre-launch right now, and that's one of the things. If you have any interest of being a president for a real estate token investment club, send Tyler or myself a DM. This is again one of the things that we're working on, getting some onboarding workflow created. Right now we're still very early, and that's one of the reasons that we're extending the pre-launch until February 22nd of 2023, International DAO Day. So anyway, going back to this contest idea, this is something that And I don't know if we would have the budget for the first state to receive a $500 that they could use for a launch party. I don't know if that's viable. This is just an idea that I'm putting out there, and whether 500 might be too much, but I think that we should be able to budget some amount for a launch party. But do you have any thoughts on that, Tyler?
Yeah, I think it's cool. I love incentives, and one of the ways that this thing's going to grow is when it's fun and it's engaging and people are really getting a lot out of it. One of the really interesting things about this is what it's going to take to get people into Web3 for the first time.
Yeah, and that's one of the benefits that we're going to be doing for the annual network club membership fee is we're going to have an absolutely fabulous investment club member onboarding experience, because we're really wanting to build this for people that aren't into crypto. At the end of the day, what we're building here has absolutely nothing to do with trading of cryptocurrencies. We're using composable blockchain technology to accomplish the goal of helping people to become real estate owners. And one of the things, the mission here at REtoken, the real estate DAO, is we build passive income with real estate ownership for everyone. And that's one of the things that, going back to this moonshot concept here real quick, this buy, monetize, tokenize, discover how Web3 is reinventing real estate with blockchain technology. On this buy phase and the monetize phase, those will really be the responsibilities and the opportunities of RETCLUB, the real estate token investment clubs. So this will be a private offering. The only way because like one of the things that I spoke about earlier, at the end of the day, there's only two ways to invest in real estate. And with all the networking that I've done, I haven't had somebody say of a third way yet. The first way is invest in your own deals. The second way is invest in somebody else's deals. And the great thing about how that we're structuring this real estate token investment clubs network is that it will be a deal sourcing, deal flow opportunity where we can do our own deals through the real estate token club, through this group framework that we're creating, but then we can also participate in other people's deals. And that's one of the things, again, that will be really exciting, utilizing this technology to see how much that we can improve from deal sourcing to deal execution, the timeframes. We absolutely believe that technology can greatly improve the buy phase. And again, we've got 3 phases in the strategy: buy, monetize, tokenize. And from a time frame, I'm really expecting this full time frame to be 6 to 36 months. Now, whether we really substantially improve that, that's still pretty optimistic. And that's a pretty wide range. I mean, there's 3 years difference between 6 months and 36 months, but that's kind of the time frame that we're going to be communicating initially. And a lot of that will depend on a lot of different variables. I mean, we were wanting to go ahead, Tyler.
I was going to say, I was actually going to jump in on some of the variables. Some of it is how fast the club scales. We have a legal maximum of under 100 members. So if the club is 3 members for a while, and then 10 members for a while, and 20 members for a while, that gives you a different buying window than if you hit 99 in a couple months and then everybody stays engaged. The other thing is our plan at this moment is to not buy anything other than ready to move into properties. We're not flippers, we're not experienced in that space. And so a lot of it's kind of funny when Burr buy, rehab, refinance, repeat, but I'm not sure if I'm missing one of those. But each one of those is a huge skill set, and we just are not experts in what we're not experts in. So we are extremely good at short-term rentals, long-term rentals, deal structuring, raising money. Those are things that we want to bring to the club. We're not experts in construction or foreclosures or a lot of areas in real estate that we just would be pretty focused on. I thought that can turn into a nightmare pretty quick, is if the club decides they want to start buying foreclosures or flipping property, and then all of a sudden you got like a $500,000 hole because you do. So we don't really think that's a possibility. If that's something that a club wants to do in the future, we can look at that at the time, but it's not right now.
That was again on our moonshot concept, buy, monetize, tokenize. And again, we will be doing a substantial more amount of communication and creation of details surrounding that. We're planning on creating a guide, a multimedia guide, buy, monetize, tokenize, and we'll be talking again more about that. So I think we covered everything under the marketing strategy. One of the things that I will add in the details here later is more details about the affiliate program when we have that built out. And just to show that real quick one more time, I'm going to go back to the image that we've got. Let me see if I can find that over here. So here it is. So this is the blue area right here, the $35. We're building out a 2-tier affiliate program. The first, and the way that this would work, let's say I'm the club founder and I refer Tyler, the new club member. So I would get compensated $35 on that for referring Tyler. And this is an annual reoccurring. We're really, again, wanting to create the network incentives that establish a long-term, and the way that this will work is that actually won't be paid out until somebody goes through, the new member goes through the investment club onboarding. Because what's going to happen here is we want to do the right thing. If somebody doesn't go through the onboarding process, we're actually going to refund their money. And that's, again, because we're wanting to build something that's long-term viable. The goal isn't to collect membership fees here. The goal is to help everyone become real estate owners and investors. And then the way that it would work is I refer Tyler, then Tyler refers her best friend. So then I would get a second tier on the affiliate. So one of the reasons that we enjoy a 2-tier affiliate program is that marketers agree that 2 tiers of affiliate compensation is the most that you can do before something is considered multi-level marketing. So if you have 3 levels, then it becomes multi-level. So we're only going to be doing 2-tier, and we want to stay away from the stigma associated with that. Anyway, do you want to add something to the conversation here, Tyler? Nope, she said BRB.
No, I've got Screaming Magoo in the background, so I'm going to be quiet here for a minute.
No, and I think that we're getting pretty close to done with the agenda that we had. I was actually going to take a look over here. I'm going to take the airdrop offline. And as far as the next actions, I mean, we went through a lot of stuff. I'm going to go back to this other page real quick to see if there was anything else that had on here. We already went through the operations strategy a little bit as far as the governance. Let me actually talk a little bit about this, the RETCLUB governance, and let's see if I've got any new details in here. So we minted our social token earlier for RETCLUB. So these are going to be done. The first one, the ERC 721 here, that's the unlock protocol, and then the proof of contribution, that's what we're going to be using for Syndicate DAO. So the other thing that I was going to go back, let's actually go back to the tools here. So one of the things, and this is under goals. So one of the things that I actually wanted to highlight was, and I'm actually going to update this from considering to using. And I'm going to go over here and bring this in. We've talked a little bit about Tesla House Co-op. This is a milestone for Tesla House Co-op. Property purchase letter of intent. This was our very first foray into using ETH sign. ethsign.xyz, let me bring that open here for everybody, is think of it as a Web3 equivalent of DocuSign. You actually use your Web3 wallet to sign instead of using your email address. And then the contract is actually uploaded to the blockchain, like on Arweave, and it was an absolutely fabulous onboarding experience for ETHSign, and it literally only cost a couple cents in Matic, very low transaction costs. They do have their platform built on here. But how that this relates to Tesla House Co-op in North Glen is that this is a milestone for us, is that we did get, and this is one of the things that we have a lot more flexibility on the buy phase. Remember, buy, monetize, tokenize. Right now, Tyler and I are in the process of monetizing Tesla House Co-op. One of the great things that we did was just refreshed our Airbnb listings, short-term rental, from what we had to reflect Tesla House Co-op. We'll take that offline and some additional content that we're going to be creating. But just wanted to talk about ETHSign here momentarily, and then also update it here from considering to using. And the way that we're going to incorporate this into the process is in that user journey. So like whenever somebody goes through the club president says, hey, I want to be a club president, we'll do a process there. And then whenever somebody goes through the investment club member onboarding process, like signing the bylaws using their digital signature. So this is one of the great things that we love, bringing Web3 tools to the Web3 communities that we're building here. And anyway, I don't know, did you want to add anything more to the ETHSign conversation? I don't know if Tyler's still engaged there. So one of the other ones that wanted to put forward, I looked a little bit at Aragon earlier. So let me open this page right now and expand this. So Aragon is a DAO framework, like a suite of tools is a good way to think of Aragon. And let me actually copy the website. I'm going to open up their main page in another window here so that you all can see aragon.org. Govern better together, build your DAO now. So let me actually, I think I've got this open in another window, close this out and get over to that one. So when I was going through the process here of creating a DAO, and let me actually go back to so this is where I got going through this process, and this is the three options that we have on Polygon. We've got company, membership, and reputation. And one of the things that I was really wanting to do is this hybrid governance model where it's a 2-token using composable technology. It looks like Aragon is mostly doing a suite of tools. Now, one of the things, I'm actually going to go back to aragon.org on another tab here. One of the things that will be interesting in expecting DAO tooling change substantially in the coming months and years as DAOs are used for more and more things. So Aragon app is maybe more modular than what they have done in the past. So a lot of the tools that Aragon has, because like doing this, wanting to do this hybrid governance model where we're using an NFT for one-to-one for the club membership, but then we're also, members are going to be contributing on a monthly basis. So this isn't just like a once and done, you pay for your annual. So we're wanting the proof of membership unlock protocol, and then with syndicate.io as a proof of contribution. We'll talk more about that later. Don't want to convolute, but going back here, I didn't see where that was a capability with Aragon. and it may be with Aragon app. But over here on the create a DAO on Polygon, there was only the 3 options here, and it looks like the tokens get created going through the process here on Aragon. So not going to go through the process. I don't think that it's the right fit for how that we're wanting to build this composable network. So that was one that I am going to cross off of the from considering to evaluated, not using right now for this specific use case. And I made some comments down here as far as the other dynamics. So anyway, moving on down the agenda here real quick. So looking at the tools again for the other one that we're really going to be spending some time with in the next week or two is request.finance. I'm not going to go into details on that. So what I do want to show DWork here real quick. DWork is what we use for task management, and this is something that I cleaned up quite a bit in between our previous working group and this one. Was the DWork surrounding, and this was the slight pivot that did to the RETCLUB framework here. So app.dwork. So 3WinDAO we've got as a organization here on DWork, and I don't know if my internet. Are you back, Tyler? Or are you still not here? So I would say that Tyler's not back. So just keep on moving here. I'm getting some delay on the DWork. So that was updated. I'm going to keep on going down on the tools list. So we talked about eSign. We'll have more breakout stuff on this. I don't know if there's really anything else that wanted to go over. Super excited. There's going to be a lot of details between now and the next working group that we're doing. Just looking from a time frame standpoint, I doubt that we'll do another working group. We'll probably potentially try to do one between Christmas and New Year's Eve. That's kind of what I'm thinking of right now. That I think will provide a solid time to move this stuff forward. Most of the details as far as getting this framework on place, we will be doing asynchronously offline. But anyway, thanks for hanging out, everybody, here tonight. This was Yonks, and again, this was our REtoken Club working group, our second working group on this topic, and this is something that we really believe is going to provide a sustainable, scalable framework on our path towards real estate tokenization. We are really positioning REtoken to be the real estate DAO, and RETCLUB, we believe, will be a core component of that strategy. Anyway, until next time, everybody.